What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Tapped In with Cris Sosa. I want to tap in with you guys about light dimmers, aka haters. People who just live their life dimming people's light, dimming your light. You know who I'm talking about. I just said that right now, and there's a face that you saw. You can see it, and you just want to fucking punch through it. And I get it. I get it, man. I get when you, oh man, like why? Like you weren't doing nothing. All you're doing is just shining. You're just casting your light. You know what I mean? You're just shining. You're just walking around, walking through life, just being a bright light, And and thank God for you, because like there are people in this world. You're either on the light and bright side or you're on the dark side. You know what I mean? And you're just like down and bitter and negative, and you think that that's your like. Because here's the thing, people entertain that and they laugh at it sometimes. Like, oh, you're such a grouch, to where like you stay in it, but like at low key, you stink. It's funky. Nobody likes it. Big old gray cloud above you. Get out of here. Get out of here, yo. And this has been something that I've endured. I've had to go through in my entire life, man. I mean, as a child, you could go all the way back from just like, you think you're just like being funny, you're being silly, and people are like, hey, don't do that. Hey, sit down. Hey, stop doing that. Oh, you're not supposed to, and it, those things build, from like when you get to school, where it's like, hey, you can't do that. No, that because the other kids, you have an advantage over the kid. Yeah. Like these are some specific things. Let's get into some specifics for you guys, just so you can understand where I'm coming from. I remember my senior year, the talent show, and this talent show, I mean, every year in high school, I've done a talent show, and every time I wanted to do like a production, I just always saw myself as like, I'm going to give you guys a Madison Square Garden concert. And I did everything in my power to just make it feel that way. Like, mind you, I'm just a kid in high school, but at the end of the day, it's like, yo, I can use my resources and let's do it, And senior year, I wanted to go out with a bang, and I used all my resources. I was in theater, so I had resources of like my theater mates, of like production crew, knowing how to use the stage lights for light cues and the projector screens that can come down, and I can connect my USB to project these like this opening sketch intro that I can like walk like appear on stage with the timing of it. And I had this whole thing mapped out. And I remember for the auditions, I showed everything. Like I pretty much explained and gave the projectors, and like I gave the whole idea to the counselors that were watching, that were going to be they're sponsoring the talent show. And I remember them like being like speechless. Like they were just like, okay. And after that, like one of the teachers like pulled me aside and was like, hey, Chris, first of all, love the idea. It's going to be like, that sounds incredible. The only thing is that the other kids, I mean, let's be honest, like you're going to blow them out the park. Like it's like so grand that like none of the kids will have a chance. Like you're using the projector, you have light cues, and you're going to have this. It's like all the other kids don't have that. Like they're going to be doing what, and all I could think was like, okay, but like, that's what I that's my talent. Like I got that. Like I know how to, like that's my vision. Like that's what I want to do. That's what I'm creating. This is what like I want. And I remember like saying, like she gave me like two options. It was like, you can, because I was dancing. I like when in high school I was dancing a lot. So that was like what I was doing in talent shows. So she was like, you can still do the talent show, and if you want to be a part of the competition of the talent show, then let's take out the entire intro and just do your dance routine. Like you just like go on the stage and do your dance routine, and that's your performance. Or you can do your entire vision of what you want to do, your whole production, and you can be on as a guest performer. Like you won't be a part of the competition. It would just be like, oh, this is a guest performance for the show. As in, like, you won't win or lose. That'll make it fair. And I chose that option because I was like, I want to do what I want to do. Fuck the trophy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and ultimately what ended up happening was that like I did do that whole show. I did that entire performance. And what ended up happening was that I thought it would be cool to like, as the senior, like this would be the move of like me passing down like the first place winner. So like I was on stage with the rest of the student council kids of like first, second, and third trophies to like hand to the winners. And so they said third place, they said second place, and they came up and they give them, and I have the first place trophy in my hand, like ready to like announce the first place winner, right? And I remember seeing my name on the list, like as the winner, as first place. It said Cris Sosa was first place, and I'm already on stage with the first place trophy in my hand, like already holding it. So like it definitely was not gonna come off as like right. Like what do you mean? Like can you imagine like how like I saw that and I was trying to tell the people like off stage like, yo, my name is already on the thing and I'm not supposed to win. Like that's not. So obviously the host didn't know, and they announced then the winner is Cris Sosa. And I was like, guys, no. I can't believe this is the thing. But like, I remember the student council from backstage being like, just say a name. Like you announced the first place winner. So when they said my name, I stopped the show and was like, guys, no, I wasn't the winner. The true winner, the true first place winner goes to, and I remember seeing a poster of like Crystal and Kristen. You know, I think that's what their names were. I forget, but it was like two Ks, Crystal and Kristen. But I remember their performance. It was the two girls that were singing, and you know, from everybody's opinion, it wasn't the best performance, you know what I'm saying? But it didn't matter. I was under pressure, and I just saw those names on the poster, and I was just like, you know what? They won. And so I made a whole thing. I was like, and the winner goes to, you know, we get a drum roll, please. And, you know, everybody's doing the whole drum roll. And I said, give it up for Crystal and Kristen. And I kid you not, the entire audience, like it was like a movie. Like you could just see everybody's heads like tilt like a dog, like, you know? And the only people who screamed was the girls. They're like, wow! And their parents, the family, and like they're running up. And you're starting to hear commotion. Like now you're starting to hear like, what? No, there's no way. Like how did they, you know? You're starting to hear all those things. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't. And I hand off the trophy and I'm I jetted. And I remember that being like a thing. And I got in trouble for that. Like they thought, like the principal thought that was like a prank. They thought I was like trolling them. And like they wanted to expel me. And then my mom had to come to the school because they were going to threaten me like I couldn't walk. Like I couldn't graduate and walk across the stage. Because they thought it was like that. They thought I was really like humiliating like them, which like in hindsight, they like, that's them, you know what I'm saying? That's on them and it's not on me, you know what I'm saying? But like, I get how it could like come across, but I say all that to say, like, I've had moments in my career, even in my journey, like comics, I've had entertainers be like, yo, like, you can't do all that. Like, all that, you know, trying to like, cause everything that I do, I want to put my all into. I put like my presentation. I mean, even stuff like this, like how I have the whole setup, like I always put my best foot forward. So when other comics don't do that or other entertainers don't do that, they want you to like dim your light to make sure that like it matches their dim ass light. Like dull. I'm talking about like they got tint on their lights. You know what I'm saying? Like 5% tint, so you can't see up in their window. You know what I'm talking about? So I got to deal with these limo tints while I'm bright as fuck, you know? And they can't do nothing about it but just like dim it. And, you know, just me being so, you know, just being naive to the game and a new guy, you know, and not wanting to, you know, pretty much I want to satisfy everybody. I would dim my light. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Oh, my bad. You know, tuck my tail in and shit like that, bro. And, you know, now being a fucking grown adult and being in the game 10 years in and like earning my stripes, you know what I mean? It's like, we're not going for that no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, we're not doing that, you know? And if I can give any advice for anybody, it doesn't have to be entertainment. This could be in any business field, any work field, or whatever journey that you are going on. You're going to come across some dim, limo tint, dark people that it's like they're gonna see your bright light and they're gonna want you to bring that light down 4 notches, and you're gonna feel like you have to, but at the end of the day, don't. Fuck that. No. You know when they say like be you, unapologetically you, like that's what that means. Like, don't be sorry that you're the best one in the room. Don't let people, because there's also low key like dimming when people go like, oh, of course, Chris is the best. Like, look at your quality. Oh, okay. All right. Of course. Here comes Chris being the best, showing out. Oh, of course, Chris is going to go all out. Like, low key, you're dimming. You know what I'm saying? Like show the flowers. You know what I'm saying? You know what I really appreciate, man? When I moved out here to New York, I thought that I was going to be experiencing stuff like that. You know what I mean? I don't want to compare like, you know, LA versus New York, but this is just how it happened in my journey. I just so happened to start in LA. So on my come up, these things have happened in LA as far as like dimming my light. But like in New York, it happened so differently. Like out here, they appreciate the craft so much that like, and they're so honest, you know, that they'll tell you like, you'll appreciate an honest opinion and you know that it's coming from an authentic place, that it won't come off as dimming your light. It's actually coming from a place of like, you know, being true to the craft and understanding the game. But like, I've really appreciated the energy that I have been receiving out here of people being like, yo, what you're doing is dope, bro. Man, yo, your act outs are crazy, bro. Dang, bro, like you be committed on that stage, bro. You be going all out, da-da-da. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you, man. Like, I really appreciate you for saying that, because it's like, I know what it feels like to be on the other side where they be like, yo, man, like, you know, all that dancing on stage, like it's too much. Like you're that dancing and before, but you know, it's like, it's like so many people have done that. Oh, this and that, da da da. You're like, you get in your head because you think like, well, you know, one, like you never want to bite, you never want to like, but all art is inspired by other art. That's one, you know what I'm saying? And yes, there is like a big difference with like being inspired by and like just complete biting. But you got to be honest with yourself on that. But when people try things and they're going for it, and you can tell, you know that they're going for something, don't be the person to be like, yo, don't do that. You know? Even if it does come off in a way of like, maybe it does look in a way of like, it would help to let them know like, man, you don't have to do all those things. But you have to gauge it. You have to understand that like people are trying new things. People are taking risks. And the reason that people are not taking risks is because you dim motherfuckers are taking over with your opinions about being like, nah, that ain't it. Mid, nah, like, you know, that, bro, no, we're not having that. So all my lights, and here's the thing, y'all got lights, man. Everybody got a light in you. You know what I'm saying? You got a light. And unfortunately, if your light is dim, and you know what, let me talk to you dim motherfuckers. Like there's still hope for you. You know what I'm saying? You still got a little light in there. You know what I mean? I said 5% tint, you know what I'm saying? It ain't like, you know, it's completely dark, but at the same time, it's like, yo, man, how can we make, not, I say we, I mean that very, very generic, generally, you know what I'm saying? But how can you make your light brighter to where you don't got to go around extinguishing people's spark? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, we ain't doing that. So, yeah, man, don't let people dim your light. Stay bright, bright as fuck. And you know, there's a certain frequency. There's a frequency that you carry. Like when you walk into a room and how people react when they see you, like, you know that you are like that light. You know what I mean? You're him, you're her. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how it feels. And, for anybody who has ever like have gone through that, and I know I'm talking to you, you know, just know that like, one, I hate that happened to you. You know, how that can make you feel. And it definitely sucks. It definitely feels like, you know, you can't satisfy anybody, or like you can't do anything right. Like you always have to be tamed, and you always have to be like, you know, there's like a restraint. I'm here to say, fuck that. If there's anybody that's around me that is like bright, even brighter than me, one, I'm going to appreciate that. I'm going to acknowledge it. I'm going to let you know that you're dope as fuck, you know, and keep shining. I'm going to admire it. And sometimes you just got to sit back and just like, let that light be bright. Like, you just got to sit there like squinting your eyes like, it's so bright, you know, I love it. And just take it all in. You know, sometimes it's just time to just take it all in. And then you could just like, you know, most people who are bright like that, they want to help and how they can cast their light. And, you know, you want to be around that energy, you know, and be like, yo, how can I, that's what you could do, you dim motherfuckers. You could just ask and say, yo, how can I be bright like that? You don't have to say it in those words. I know your ego and your pride might get in the way. And you might want to say something of like, you know, shit, you get all the hoes. So, you know, I bet, bro, you don't even got to say that, bro. You could just say like, you're a very personable person, bro. How are you so social? How do you socialize like that? Like, you know how to talk to anybody. Like, yo, just say what it is, bro. Just say what it is. You don't have to jokingly say it into something. There's a certain way to communicate, and sometimes it don't have to come out in a joke. You could just verbatim say, hey, yo, bro, you're dope, man. And I like the energy that you bring. And I want to know, like, what are some ways that I can, like, bring that type of energy into my world and, like, cast that onto others. Look, it's better easier said than done. You know, I didn't say that right, but you know what I mean. It's easier said than done. But just know that if you are coming to me with that energy, I'm always going to be receptive. And sometimes I can even see it too if you are going to be joking, like, you know, you don't know how to communicate and you want to joke and say it through a roast. I'll catch it and I'll see where it's coming from. You know what I mean? You're gonna hit me with something. Oh, here comes Sosa, Mr. Social, Mr. Want to talk to everybody. Oh, Mr. Network. Don't be like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't be like that. It's stank. It's nasty. Funky. Full. You know? Full. That's what my abuela would say. Ay, que full. Nasty. Cochino. Okay? So don't be like that. Don't be dim. Set your pride aside, set your ego aside, and ask. Just ask. You know what I'm saying? I think, wow, that felt good. This felt good to get off. Shit, I feel brighter even talking about this. I hope you feel brighter after this episode. I'll tell you that, because I feel damn good. Shit. Y'all already know what to do. Like, share, and subscribe. I've been your host, Cris Sosa. Tap in with me. Let me know what you have gone through, how somebody has dimmed your light. Let me know how you cast your light. Don't be afraid to share. You know, I know it feels uncomfortable. You might feel like you're boasting, but like, let me know, you know, what you do when you're at your brightest, how it makes you feel. And we'll see y'all next week, man. Like I said, like, share, and subscribe. You already know what to do. I'll holler at y'all. Peace.